Every morning, Russell Brunson wakes up and goes on the warpath. And he gets done in 2 hours what most people get done in 2 days. Now, don't tell Russell I said this, but he's not smarter than you. He's not a harder worker than you. He's not better looking than you. Instead, he just has fewer distractions and uses the ADE formula to get stuff done. Hi, my name is Craig Ballantyne, and I'm the author of The Perfect Day Formula. Pretty productive guy, but I wasn't always this way. In fact, I used to grind 12 to 15-hour days that sent me to the emergency room twice. And then I figured out a secret, and it's that secret that there's those people, you know, who get so much done, you're like, wonder how do they do it? I'm gonna share that secret with you today. People have systems in place. They can build factories in their business so that the output is massive. They get way more done. Their teams get more done. And they're able to finish their work by 2 p.m., 3 p.m. and get home in time to be with their families. I've helped entrepreneurs like Bedros Keuilian do this, and he built Fit Body Bootcamp and True Lean Nutrition because of it. I helped Isabel Price do this, and she scaled an 8-figure business and still got done work at 2 p.m. every single day to homeschool her boys. So if they can do it, you can do it too, if you're willing to put these systems into place. The first thing you need to understand is that saying yes to insane productivity means saying no to everything else. It means setting boundaries in your life. So you need to have some type of decision framework about what you're going to focus on. In our business, in our coaching program, we talk about making sure that you are putting a level 10 effort into your level 10 problem. So let's step back a minute and figure out exactly what is the level 10 problem or opportunity in your business. Now, the next thing I need you to do is think, what level of effort am I putting into this level 10 problem? Now, that level 10 problem might be that you have a toxic team member who needs to go, or it might be that you have a bad morning routine, or it might be that your chaos in your afternoons is just out of control and you are not able to get stuff done. So whatever that level 10 problem is, we step back and we look, are we giving it a level 10 effort? And if we're not, it means that we are distracted and we are undisciplined. Because discipline is simply this, putting a level 10 effort into your level 10 problem, and everything else is just entertainment. So if you need to get ahead in your business and your morning routines are filled with busy work, checking emails, scrolling, and other activities like cold plunging, going to the gym, and you aren't getting done the major tasks in your life, it's because you're putting a level 10 effort into a morning routine that doesn't serve you. So fixing your morning routine, which is what we did for Russell by giving him the Millionaire morning routine, where he got up and immediately went right to work on building funnels, he was able to get an 8-hour workday done in just 2 hours. He was able to get that done before he was able to go and help his wife with his 5 kids. Because he talks about this, he made a podcast entirely about how this system helped him get more done. And he said by the time it's time for daddy diaper duty, back in the day when his kids were young, he had already finished his workday. He had already built a lot of funnels, and that's what allowed him to scale. So if your morning routine is going to other activities, that's gotta change. We need to fix it by identifying the level 10 problem and putting a level 10 effort into it. Now, in order to do that, we need to free up our time. And this is where the Billionaire Matrix comes in. The Billionaire Time Matrix has 4 questions. What is not your job? So what are you doing that other people in your business should be doing? Right now, you might be doing work that your social media manager is supposed to be doing. I know, because I once did that. 5 years ago, I wanted to find more time in my schedule, and I had a social media manager, and I was uploading my own videos because I felt bad. Because I have a blue-collar mindset, right? I was born on the farm, raised, my parents did everything themselves, we didn't have a lot of money, and they cut their own lawn. My mom still has her 85-year-old brother cut her lawn, and she has a half an acre lawn, because that's the farm mentality. But if you want to get ahead as an entrepreneur, you can't be cutting your half-acre lawn. You can't be doing all of those things. You can't be uploading your videos to social media when you've already hired somebody else to do it. So what is not your job? That's the first square in the matrix. And when we identify all the things that are not our job that somebody else on our team can do because they're better than us at it, then we're able to save 2 to 5 hours per week. And I want to focus on that better than you aspect. Because right now you might be doing the bookkeeping in your business. Now, you're not a bookkeeper. If I hired you to be a bookkeeper in my business, how long would you last? Half an hour? And then I found out you're not a real bookkeeper? But you're doing that for the most important business in the world, your own. And you shouldn't be, because it's taking you too long, you're doing it wrong, and you hate doing it, when you should be delegating that to somebody else so that you can go and do the $1,000 activities, the selling in your business. So making sure when you get that right in that Billionaire Time Matrix, the first question is, what is not your job? That allows you to delegate. The next question is, what do you hate doing? So what are the things that you do on a daily basis that you absolutely dislike, and that the day before you're doing them, you're thinking about how much you hate them? For years, I was doing calls in the morning. And I hate doing calls in the morning because the morning is my magic time for creation. And every night, on a Monday night, I'd go to bed and I'd think, oh man, I got that call at 9 o'clock Tuesday morning. And I would be frustrated. I'd be wasting mental energy on Monday thinking about something on Tuesday. Now, all I had to do was tweak my schedule. All I had to do was move the calls until the afternoon. So I eliminated them from the morning and moved them to the afternoon and blocked and batched them into a single time where all my calls are back to back. So I was minimizing transition time. I was minimizing the death by 1,000 cuts that so many people have. If you're going from call to a little bit of work, to another call, to a little bit of work, then doing a podcast, then checking your stats, then doing your bookkeeping, death by 1,000 cuts, you will get way more work done in a single 3-hour block than you would doing an hour block in 3 days. Think about that. If you have to create a presentation, or if you have to write a chapter for your book, or if you have to outline a new product, and you sit down and you do it for an hour, the first 15 minutes are not that great, the next 30 minutes are good, and then you think, oh, I gotta go and do something else in 15 minutes. So you only get 30 minutes done in an hour work block. But if you have a 3-hour block dedicated to that, you're gonna get in it for 15 minutes, then you're gonna have a long block of quality work, and then you'll switch to another block of work. That's a much better approach to doing it. So making sure that you set your schedule up for maximum performance is going to be a game changer in your life. The next question in the Billionaire Time Matrix is, what should you stop doing? There are so many things in your business that if you stopped and nobody else did it, your business would actually be ahead. Here's an example. Years ago, I launched my first book, and I started doing as many podcasts as I could to get the word out. Eventually, I got to the point I was getting so many podcast requests that I was going on every show. And I would do some shows, and I'm like, I think this guy is in his basement, his mother's basement, and he probably has about 10 listeners to his podcast. And I'm spending an hour on this podcast and 15 minutes before and 15 minutes after transitioning in and out of it. I'm spending 90 minutes on this when if I went and filmed 3 YouTube videos in 90 minutes, I'd get thousands more views. So I had to stop doing that. And it wasn't something I delegated to somebody else, and it wasn't something that I automated. Instead, it was something I simply stopped. And so there are a lot of activities that you're doing in your business. Perhaps you think you have to be on every social media. You have to be on LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, whatever else is out there. But only one of those actually brings you customers. And you're spending an hour or 2 on each of the other ones that are ineffective uses for your business. Well, you could actually shut those down, claw back that time, pour some of it into the thing that works, and then spend the rest of it on other stuff that works, or heck, just not work at all. And you'd be just as far ahead as if you had spent that time on that ineffective social media. So making sure that you identify the things that you can stop doing in your business will set you free. And then finally, the fourth question in the Billionaire Time Matrix is, what are my distractions? Everybody's got their vices. For some people, it's watching the top 10 plays of the day on SportsCenter. For some other people, it's Instagram. A lot of us, even me, it's Instagram. And so I would go on Instagram in the afternoon and I would justify it. I would say, hey, listen, Instagram sends me a lot of customers, a lot of business. I do a lot of networking on Instagram. I can go on there and scroll a little bit in the afternoon. But it was a distraction. I wasn't using that time productively. And I say this, use social media, but don't let social media be used on you. And if you're just out there consuming social media, it might be making you angry, it might be making you envious, it might be giving you a bad mood, and that means social media is being used on you. That's the wrong way to do it. As a social media producer, I produce content to go on social media. I generate conversations, but I don't go on social media to consume content. That's it being used on me. So there's distractions that you need to get rid of. You need to identify ways that block you from going on there. So a lot of our team members use the Opal app, O-P-A-L. I make no money from the Opal app. I've sent millions of people there, and it has millions of users and a 4.8 star review from thousands and thousands of people. And what it does is it blocks you from accessing certain things on your phone. So you can say, block me from all social media and block me from my email between the hours of 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. so that you can then focus on your most important work early in the morning, getting into that millionaire morning routine. And when you do that, when you block your distractions, when you subtract the negativity, that will do so much more for you and your productivity than adding a green juice, adding a cold plunge, adding some manifestation video. Those things are nice, and if you have extra time, you can do them. But if you aren't getting that stuff done, the most important stuff done, the level 10 problem stuff done, those things gotta go. So we figure out what should you stop doing, what is not your job, what do you hate doing, and what are your distractions. Those are the 4 questions of the Billionaire Time Matrix. Then we automate, delegate, and eliminate that stuff. So we say no to those things so that we can say yes to being insanely productive like Russell Brunson. And when you do that, you will triple your productivity. Your days will look less chaotic. You'll have more control. You control that morning. You own your day so that you can go home and concentrate on what counts. And that allows you to scale your business. It allows you to do more of what you like. It allows you to have more energy. It's this virtuous cycle that when you do that, you are going to be saying yes to being your most productive self. So you don't need more motivation. You don't need more life hacks. What you need is simply a system. And so if you want the ADE formula, just type the word ADE, down below this video, and we'll send it to you so that you start putting these systems into place and you start scaling your business and having more free time. This is Craig Ballantyne, host of Early to Rise Radio, helping you be more productive and get more stuff done in life. Just drop ADE down below and we'll send you that free resource.